Good morning, students. This is your welcome to IS 303 online. This course uses STEAM-based learning to teach management of information systems. My name is Sheila Harry. I will be your instructor, and as you can see, my email address is smharry@uab.edu. It is better to email me directly at this email address than to use the email function through Canvas. I'll typically get the email much quicker. So let's jump right in and take a look at our required materials. You do have a textbook. There is a link in the syllabus to this site. And as you can see, you have about 4 different choices here. You have a comparison chart underneath. You can choose the study pass, the digital all access pass, or if you just want to have the hardback or actual book, you can order it either in black and white or a color print textbook. Keep in mind that it will take you a little bit to get the printed textbook because it's my understanding that they're prepared as when they're ordered. The study pass gives you access to the online book. The biggest difference in the study pass and the digital all access, the digital all access pass will let you actually download material in case you want to put it on some type of e-reader device. But either of these will be sufficient for the course. Cases. We will be doing case analyses through the semester. You will have to purchase these cases from Harvard Business Review. I believe they're $4.25 each. And again, there is a link in the syllabus to the Harvard Business Review site where you can purchase your cases. Okay. As I said, this is a team-based learning course. The team-based collaborative learning is made up of individual work, teamwork, and prompt feedback. Students hold each other accountable for being prepared and contributing equitably to the team. Each module will begin with the students reading the textbook assignments and taking a readiness assessment quiz. We'll talk a little bit more about those in a moment. And then you will work with your team to do case analyses or case studies, and these allow you to apply the principles and concepts that you learn from the textbooks to a more real-world scenario and with your team, and it just enables a higher order of learning. Now, each module will be 1 week. Of course, this is a 7-week course. Module 1 will cover technology as a change agent and as a competitive strategy. And this will be chapters 1, 2, 3, and 12. Module 2 will be technology as a disruptive force. This will be chapters 4, 5, 6, and 7. Module 3 is network effects, which is chapters 8 and 18. Module 4 is social media, and this will be chapters 9, 10, and 11. Module 5 will look at software, and this is chapters 13 and 14. In Module 6, we'll be talking about data, business intelligence, and telecommunications, and this will be chapters 15 and 16. And then we wrap up in Module 7 with talking about security, and this will be chapter 17. So, you will be or have been assigned to a team of approximately 5 students. You'll work collaboratively with your team members to answer team readiness assessment test questions. We call that a TRAT. This is multiple choice questions on the assigned readings in the text. You will also work with your team to craft answers to specific questions that I will ask you about the two case studies that we will be doing per module. Beginning with Module 2, you will be doing a case analysis or a case study on 2 cases per week. You can contact your team members through the People link in Canvas on the left-hand menu. Teams may be changed a bit from the initial setup after the drop add date. But other than that, you will work with the same team for the entire 7-week semester. Now you will perform 2 peer evaluations via a third-party software called iPeer. This will be done midway the semester and at the end, and you will be evaluating your teammates on their meaningful contribution to the team assignments. I'll go ahead and stress here, just showing up or logging in for a team meeting and having nothing to say, nothing to contribute, does not count as meaningful contribution. Now your iPeer login credentials are your Blazer ID, not the full email address, everything to the left of the @ and your banner ID or your password will be your banner ID or your boo number. If you don't know your boo number, you can log in to BlazerNet and get it. And this is a B0, not a B and the letter O. A lot of people have issues when they start trying to log into iPeer because they type in the boo number incorrectly. I would urge you to go ahead and do this early, even though it may not be time yet to do your peer eval. You might want to go ahead and just log into iPeer to make sure that you can log in successfully. Team-based learning. Some of you may have had courses that are team-based learning in the past, and this may be totally new to some of you. But before each module begins, you're going to individually read the assigned textbook chapters. And you will take an individual readiness assessment test. We call that an IRAT by the deadline in the course schedule. This will be multiple choice questions on the text that you were assigned to read. Now after the IRAT deadline passes, your team's going to meet virtually and complete the team readiness assessment test, which is the TRAT. Your team can use whatever media it wishes to meet. I mean, teams in the past have kind of run the gamut. They've done conference call, Google Hangouts, Skype. You can actually use what I am using here and what I will use for our virtual question and answer sessions, which is GoToMeeting. As a student, you do have use of GoToMeeting. It allows you to record your meeting, and that way all of your team members can refer back to it at a later date if they need to. Now, the last question on your TRAT, you have to record who participated. You're going to select a team leader to coordinate the meetings. You can rotate this role through the 7 weeks, or you can just have the same person do it. That's entirely up to the teams. but you will collectively take that TRAT by the deadline. It'll be the same questions as the IRAT. The team leader will be the one that actually logs in and answers the TRAT questions for the team. So while the team's meeting, the team leader will log in, and the team it's not a timed quiz, so you have time for your team leader to log in and for y'all to discuss each question. So, in other words, there will only be one TRAT submitted for each team. Okay, moving on. The application cases that I mentioned, you're going to, you and your team, apply your judgment to cases that relate to the book chapter's concepts. You'll work on 2 cases per module. You'll individually read each case and answer each case's questions, post it to the team's case discussion board by the first deadline listed in the course schedule. These individual answers are graded basically on the metrics. I will post a recorded case introduction for each case. You are responsible for viewing these introductions. Some of the introductions actually have a quiz question embedded within them, and that will be 1 point of the possible 5 points for your individual case post grade. The other metrics that will be looked at is did you answer all the questions posed? Did you use structured white space format? And we'll explain that in a few minutes. Did you post it in the correct place? Did you post it on time? So, once that first deadline passes, then your team will meet collectively and they'll craft team answers. An initial team answer to these same case questions. You'll follow the directions in the FAQ, which is a document located in the Getting Started module. It's entitled How to Complete IS-303 Assignments. Be certain that you're very familiar with that document. It will tell you everything you need to know about completing assignments in this course. But you will post that initial team answer to the team case discussion board by the second deadline stated in the course schedule. Your team will receive feedback from me within 24 hours. It will not be lengthy or greatly in-depth. I will tell you that, good job, or that you need to rethink this question or that question. A lot of these questions are a judgment call. There are some that have clear-cut, right and wrong answers, but the majority of them are somewhat of a judgment call. What's important is that you be able to integrate the concepts from the text and the facts from the case to support whatever choice you make. So in this feedback, I may tell you that you may want to rethink something. I may tell you that your support needs to be strengthened. I will not tell you this is what you need to put to strengthen your support. So it's just general feedback. As I said, you'll receive that feedback, the team will, within 24 hours, and that will be on the team discussion board. Then your team will meet again and collectively craft the final team answers. You'll need to take into consideration any feedback you receive, and you'll post this to the team discussion board by the third deadline in the course schedule. In your case analysis, again, Be sure to consider the principles you covered in the text for that module, as well as instructor feedback to the initial posts. That says individual, it should have been initial. The greatest part of your team case post grade is not on the metrics. The metrics are important. You still need to use the structured white space format. You still need to answer all the questions. But I am heavily looking at how well you supported the choice that you made, how well you integrated concepts from the text. Again, the FAQ document has detailed instructions on how to do each one of these things. So it needs to become your new best friend, and you need to, if you have questions, first refer back to the FAQ document. Okay, let's move on. Individual preparation for cases, and this is where I'm going to show you the structured white space format that we're talking about. So, and a hypothetical question might be, Netflix has been disruptive to more than one market. Select the market in which you think it has been least disruptive. You can do outside research and justify your choice. And so you have your options here: video rental business, home internet service, broadcast and cable TV service, original video series production. Now your answer, this is the way that your case posts should all be done unless I tell you otherwise. The first part of your answer, you state your claim or belief, realizing it's your opinion, it's not a fact. So you might, for example, say, answer D, original video series production is the market being least disrupted by Netflix. Your claim or belief should be stated as a complete sentence. Come down to the next line and you'll do your support for your claim. Basically, why should I believe your claim? Why should I believe your choice is the best? What are your reasons? And you're going to start this with the word because. Now, individuals will be limited to 75 words. I don't count the word because. So, you know, and you do not repeat the case or the question. So be really concise with your support. You can see here the example is, because there are relatively few original video series being produced by Netflix. On the other hand, Netflix ran Blockbuster out of business. They also are driving consumers to demand faster home internet service, and many people are cutting the cord to broadcast and cable TV and streaming Netflix movies and TV shows instead. So that's a very concise support for why this person would think that answer D was the best choice. Okay, I know that that is a lot to take in, but you can always refer. This example is also given in the FAQ document on how to do individual case analysis section. Okay, the peer evaluation that I talked about, this is going to happen twice, midterm and end of the semester. You're going to evaluate your team members, your team peers, on their contribution to taking the TRATs, crafting case answers, and participating in team meetings. Again, you're judging them strictly on the extent of their contribution to these team assignments. This second part is, it's really going to be like 50 points, or really 40 points. I have lowered the number of team members. When this was written, I had 7 people on a team. that is a bit too many people to have to juggle schedules to meet. So I have, as I said, reduced the team size to approximately 5 people. You would have 40 points then to allocate to the other 4 members of your team. You must give one person more than 10 and one person less than 10. You cannot just go in and give each of your team members 10 points. The reason for this is it just doesn't happen. There is not a team in school nor in a workplace where every member contributes exactly equally. Now, if you fail to evaluate your peers, you will receive a 0 for that peer evaluation. There's no deadline extensions on these. Also, if you do go in and give each team member 10 points, your grade or your peer evaluation will be reduced by 50%. So, I realize that, everybody is busy. Everybody has school, life, home, family, whatever. There may be a time when you have to miss a team assignment. So at the end of the semester, I will drop the lowest team assignment grade. So if you miss a team assignment, that 0 will be dropped. If you don't miss any team assignments, then it'll just be your lowest team assignment grade that will be dropped. Grades. This is the part everybody's really interested in. Your individual performance counts for 35% of your total grade. Of course, that's made up of the IRATs. They count 16%. Individual case responses are 10%. And your final is 9%. Your team performance is 50% of your final grade. The TRATs are 15%. And the case choice posts or case analysis posts, those are 35% of your grade. The individual team contribution, those 2 peer evaluations we talked about, those count for 15% of your grade. This grade breakdown is shown in your syllabus. So, just a few more things. Your individual grade threshold. In order to receive your grade for the individual assignments, the IRAT, and the individual case prep, you must have a grade average for each one of at least 60%. In other words, you have to have made at least a 60% average on your IRATs. If you make a 50 on an IRAT, then 50 is the grade you're going to get for the TRAT. You have to make 60 or better on the IRAT in order to get the team grade for the TRAT. Anything less than 60% honestly indicates that you're not really prepared to contribute to your team. The individual case preparation, that at the end of the semester, your individual case average has to be 60%, or you'll get a 0 for that portion. There are team expectations. I understand that everybody's schedules are busy. There is a very simple scheduling tool that's posted in Canvas in the Getting Started module that you're welcome to use. I will not help you do your schedule for your team. In a work scenario, you're given a team to work with, you're given an assignment, and scheduling is going to be left up to you. So, the other thing is freeloading. I understand this happens a lot in teams. But this course is designed to not allow freeloading. Your peer evaluation will show it. Your grade thresholds will show it. So if you do not participate, or if you plan to freeload off team members, you should just drop the class or anticipate failing the class, because it has been designed to not allow freeloading. And your final exam, there will be a comprehensive final. It will use the same format as the IRAT. In other words, it will be multiple choice. It is broken down into 2 parts so that you don't have to take the whole thing in one sitting. So what comes next? I strongly advise you to download the course schedule. There's a link for that in the syllabus. There will be an initial kickoff meeting the first day of class. It will be recorded. There will be an attendance quiz. You need to click on People in the left-hand menu and see which team you're on. Go ahead and introduce yourself to your teammates in the introduction forum of your team discussion board. And you'll complete your first IRAT or quiz, which will be on the syllabus and the FAQ document. So make sure you have all due dates noted and go ahead and begin Module 1. Now each Monday night at 6 p.m. I will hold a virtual class meeting. In these meetings, and you will find these scheduled in the virtual classroom, I will go over the case introduction, which will already have been posted via video in the module. And this is your opportunity to ask questions. If you have any questions on the text, the cases, or any of this other stuff, anything that you have a question on, this is your opportunity to answer it. As I said, they will be recorded. I will post that recording in Canvas for the people that could not log in at that time. So, I know this all sounds like a lot to take in, but the FAQ is there for you to refer to. I look forward to a great semester and getting to know each one of you. Thanks for watching.